starts. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday motivational call. Woo, woo. So here we are in October, and maybe you know or don't know, but October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So the whole month of October, I'm going to be talking about abuse. I'm going to be talking about abusive relationships, and specifically, I'm going to be focusing on narcissistic abuse, right? Because that's apparently my specialty. So I'm going to put everybody on mute until the end of the call. And I want to get started because I got a lot of content that I want to give you. And so I'll unmute everybody at the end of the call. And of course, as always, I will do the Q&A. So here we go. All right, a new day dawns, breaking up with abuse. Welcome, and thank you for investing this time in you. I am Denise Dominguez. I am also excited. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And here's a little bit about me. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author. And my most recent book was released last October, which is the one we're going to talk about tonight, A New Day Dawns, Breaking Up with Abuse. I hosted a podcast called It's Your Turn Radio for 2 years on Blog Talk Radio. And I help women heal their emotional wounds all over the world so that they can live a life of freedom, joy, and abundance. And I do this by having them embrace and connect with who they are, really, who they really are, so she can begin to experience healthy relationships, a fulfilling life, and more money in her business. Woo! Who doesn't want that, right? So why am I here? And what makes me a teacher of abusive relationships? What credentials do I have to be able to talk to you about this? So here's my credentials. I was in an abusive relationship for over 20 years, and I didn't even know it. So what I've learned since leaving that relationship is that abuse comes in many forms. Okay, and so because there was no physical or sexual abuse, I didn't recognize the abuse for what it was. I really just thought that my ex was an asshole. I mean, really, I did. So, yes, I knew that it was not a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage. And yes, I knew that I wasn't happy all the time, but I just wasn't seeing things for what they really were. And that's why I'm here talking to you about this. And I want you to see your relationship for what it really is, because the truth shall set you free. Okay? So like I said, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So for the next 4 weeks, I will be shedding light on the statistics and getting really clear on what abuse is and how you can start to heal from your abusive relationships. And this includes relationships with partners, parents, coworkers, etc. Because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, what you will find online is everything about domestic abuse, right? The numbers, the resources, etc. But what you will not find is anything about narcissistic abuse. I call it the silent abuse. Because I know I'm not alone in this, and I know that there are millions of women out there that are in these types of relationships and don't even know it, that they're in it, and that they're being abused. And the silent abuse consists of 3 things: emotional abuse, mental abuse, and financial abuse. Okay? So, like, you can't call the cops. You can't call the police and say, he's making me cry, right? Or he hides all the money, and I don't even know if I have enough money to feed my kids. or he kicked me out of the house and won't let me back in the house unless I bow down to him and kiss some major ass, right? That's why it's a silent abuse, right? And this is why I want to focus on this, because there's so many women in these types of relationships, and I know there's so many women in these types of relationships, and that they are or were just like me and didn't even know it. Okay, so there aren't any women's shelters for these types of abuse either, right? And the truth is, narcissistic abuse affects over 158 million people in the US. What? Let me read that again. Narcissistic abuse affects over 158 million people just in the US. Abuse comes in many forms, and some may be hard to detect. And that's what I want. That's where I want the awareness to go, right? I want you to know the difference between a healthy relationship and an abusive relationship. Because if I would have known that, I wouldn't have stuck it out for over 20 years. Okay? So last October, I was honored to write a chapter in a book called A New Day Dawns, Breaking Up with Abuse. This one chapter was the catalyst for my message and how I help heal women around the world. So let's start here. What is a narcissist? Okay, so it's a person who has an excessive interest in or admiration of themselves, right? Me, everything's about me. Narcissists who think the world revolves around them. Because you may not even know that. I didn't. And this is why I repeat this over and over again. Okay? So, World Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day is June 1st. And most people have never heard of this phrase, narcissistic abuse. This is where I come in and make sure that you get some clarity on this. Okay? Narcissistic abuse is a form of emotional and psychological abuse. It is primarily inflicted by individuals who have either narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, which is characterized by a lack of empathy, or antisocial personality disorder, ASPD, also known as sociopaths or psychopaths, and is associated with the absence of a conscience. How sad is that? And that's the thing, that's the awareness that I always bring to the table. So when I talk about this, and when I talk about my own personal experience with this, I want to shed light on there's no hate for these people. And I don't hate my ex, regardless of what we went through and all of that, because I feel sorry for him. And that's how you have to view these people in your life in order for you to heal you. Okay? Because remember, this is about us as the victims of this. I hate saying that word victim, but that's what it is. And to move forward and to heal, we have to come from a place of love. Okay? And remember, the people that are hardest to love are the ones that need love the most. So you may be wondering, if most people haven't heard of narcissistic abuse, then why is it so important to raise awareness about it? Well, Sandra L. Brown, founder of the Institute for Rational Harm Reduction and Public Pathology Education, describes in her article 60 million persons in the U.S. negatively affected by someone else's pathology. How she arrived at this staggering figure is there are 304 million persons in the US. 1 in 25 people will have the disorders associated with no conscience, which include antisocial personality disorder, sociopath, and psychopath. 304 million divided by 25 equals 12.16 million people with no conscience. That is freaking scary statistics. Each antisocial psychopath will have approximately 5 partners who will be negatively affected by their pathology. All right, so that equals 60.8 million people. And I'm not one for numbers, but I figured this is pretty eye-opening. And since we're starting the month of October with these calls, I wanted to give you like some jaw-dropping, eye-opening statistics to make you like really pay attention to how, what, like it's an epidemic, like how worldwide this is and how huge this is, and that we need to be aware of this, right? Especially if it's already affected us, so that we don't attract these type of people in our life, or that we could detect them right away. Okay? So listen, I could go on and on about the numbers and how people are being affected by this, but what does that do for you? How does knowing the numbers help you? It doesn't. They don't. It's just an awareness and an eye-opener for you. What I really want you to know is, how did you attract this into your life, and how can you start the healing process, right? Like, let's get to the good stuff. So let's look at who these people are in our lives, okay? The symptoms of narcissistic personal disorder include grandiose sense of importance, occupation with unlimited success, belief that one is special and unique, all right? Lacks empathy, is arrogant, is jealous of others. These are symptoms cause significant distress in a person's life, okay? Typically, narcissistic parents are exclusively and possessively close to their children, and may be especially envious of and threatened by their children's or their child's growing independence. All right, so narcissistic personality disorder is a mental disorder in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. So the truth is, behind that mask of ultra confidence lies a fragile self-esteem that's vulnerable to the slightest criticism. That's what I want you to understand about these people, is that they, again, were not born this way. They were created through their environment, and that we need to have empathy for them. And I know that may be hard if you've been through a relationship with someone who was abusive to you. But remember, when I say these things, it's for you. It's for you to heal you. Because if you're carrying anger in your heart, and you're carrying that heaviness of what's been done to you by this person, you're never going to heal. You're going to hold on to the past. You're going to hold on to that energy, and you're going to carry it with you day in and day out, and it's only going to manifest inside of you. And that's not what you want. If you're on this call, I know that you want to find a way to heal. And so that's why I'm going to say this over and over again to you, because I want you to really get it. Okay? All right. So now that we have some clarity of the different types of narcissists, let's look at what is the cause. So it's not known what causes narcissistic personality disorder, as with other mental disorders, the cause is likely complex. I know from my experience, what I've been through, raised with, married, and raised was, again, they're not born this way. They're created this way by their environment. So, the article says that narcissistic personality disorder may be linked to mismatches in parent-child relationships with either excessive pampering or excessive criticism. True. And so I know from my experience that my ex was created, his personality disorder was created through a lot of isolation and secretly putting him up on a pedestal. And so that's the excessive pampering, where he was, you're so great, you're so this. And it was because his dad was, at a young age, his dad was taking him to a bar so he could be kind of like the lookout guy while he was in the bar with women, so that his son, which was my ex, wouldn't tell his mom. Crazy. But can you see how that would play with your mind? And then he's rewarded for lying to his mom or covering up, or all those things. And then excessive criticism, which is the opposite, where a child is criticized for all that they do and all that who they are, so that they are going to make everything about them, because they've grown up with excessive criticism. So they want to be, be on that pedestal. They want to be the center of attention. They want to make it all about them, because it never was about them. So back and forth. All right. So what is a narcissistic relationship? Okay. I'm going to go through this quickly because we're already almost 20 minutes into the call, and I want to get to the healing part. So here are 10 signs that you are in a narcissistic relationship. And remember, relationship is relationship. It doesn't necessarily mean, husband and wife, partners. This could be parent-child. It could be cousins, sisters, co-workers, anything. Friends. Okay. So number 1, conversation hoarder. They love to talk about themselves and don't give you a chance to take part in a two-way conversation. Okay. Conversation interrupter. Interrupts and quickly switches the focus back to them. Okay. Rule breaker. Enjoys getting away with violating rules and social norms, such as cutting in line, chronic undertipping, stealing office supplies. Now, I will say that my ex was an over-tipper, and that was because he was, shining light on him. Boundary violator, disregard for other people's thoughts, feelings, and physical space. False image projection. They like to do things to impress others by making themselves look good externally. Entitlement, expect others to cater, often instantly, to their needs. Charmer. Woo, yes, charmer. And if you are my client, then you know that charmer falls under child energy, and so does narcissist. So very charismatic and persuasive. When they're interested in you for their own gratification, they will make you feel very special and wanted. And that's how a relationship starts, right? You meet this guy or this girl, and they're so charming, and you just think, wow, because they're not showing you their true self. And then as time goes on, this is the case for me, you start to see things, and it's little by little. It's like little tiny bit of here, little sprinkled in here, and it's almost unnoticeable. And that's why, for me, it was, I didn't put I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know. And so I didn't put 2 and 2 together, because it was sprinkled in, and he was so charming in the beginning. And my parents liked him, and it was just and before you know it, you're so deep into this relationship, and so, married, kids. So All right. Getting back to the 10 signs. Grandiose personality, thinking of oneself as a hero or heroine, a prince or princess, and a one-of-a-kind special person. Negative emotions, enjoy spreading and arousing negative emotions to gain attention, feel powerful, and keep you insecure. Manipulation, huge one, manipulation. And narcissist, anybody who manipulates you, get rid of them. I don't care if they're a narcissist or not, get rid of them. You should not be manipulated. Okay, so a narcissist may use his or her romantic partner, friend, child, or colleague to meet unreasonable self-serving needs. Okay, fulfill unrealized dreams or cover up self-perceived inadequacies and flaws. Okay, enough of them and more of us, right? Let's get to us. What can we do now that we have this awareness? Okay, first thing, know that it is now time for you to put all of your focus on you. That is the only way that you're going to be able to heal yourself, is you focus on you. When you are focusing on what happened in the past and who that person was or is, or how can I change that person, or what can I do, and on and on and on, then you stay over there. When you turn your attention on you and you focus on you and the healing process for you, that's how you heal from these relationships. It's pretty simple. You just focus on you, okay? And know that you need to heal from this abuse, okay? Whether this abuse came from a parent, a partner, a coworker, you have to really realize that you definitely need to heal. So I know from my experience, I went into healing for myself even before I had a clear picture of why I needed to heal. But because, like I said, I didn't know that it was abuse. Had no idea. So you need to take a step back from anyone in your life who sucks the energy from you, and take time each and every day to do something to show you some kindness. This is really important. Okay, I'm going to give you some examples, but it's really important that you do this every day. Every day. If you're a mom and you have kids and you have young kids, then you need to find some time every day. Wake up before the kids or do something after they go to sleep, something. So here's some examples, because everybody thinks, oh, I have to do something big for myself. No, it is actually the little things that are just as good, okay? So take a walk on the beach. Take a walk on the beach by yourself and soak up the sun rays. Okay, that's a great example. Buy yourself your favorite flowers, or even just one. It doesn't have to be a whole dozen. It can be one. Treat yourself to a nice dinner, your favorite one. Okay, you don't even have to go out to dinner. You could just cook yourself that nice dinner. What is your favorite dinner? Take a nice, calm bubble bath. Surround the bath with candles and soothing music, right? Go to the park and read your favorite book. The point is, just do something that makes you happy. Something that excites you, lights you up. Be kind to yourself. This is a practice. Okay, so if you are in or were in a narcissistic relationship, the focus was always on them, right? You probably even forgot who you were. You probably asked yourself the question, who am I? What am I doing here? Like, I know I did. I know there was a point where I was just like, okay. And for over 20 years, the focus was on one person. One person. one person. And the more the focus was on that person, the further I got away from who I am. The further I got away to paying attention to me, to getting to know me, to do things that make me happy, that light me up. Every day, it was more of this and less of this, more of this and less of this, right? Especially when you're a mom. What do? We take care of our kids. Duh. So this is something that you have to keep in the forefront of your brain. You have to keep that right there so that you every day do something. And like I said, it doesn't have to be this giant thing. It could be something really small, really simple, but do it. Show yourself the love that you deserve. Have beautiful conversations with yourself. When you wake up in the morning and you brush your teeth and you look at yourself in the mirror, what are you saying to yourself? Are you nice? Are you being nice to yourself? Are you being kind? Are you patient with yourself? Or are you critical of yourself? Are you impatient with yourself? These are things that you need to be mindful of. Okay? Also, we attracted these types of people in our life because we don't see this part of us in us. Stay with me, okay? Because I know that may sound harsh, and it goes a lot deeper than just that, but it's true. All right? Also, we attracted these type of people in our lives because we weren't loving ourselves the way that we should. Truth is, we weren't shown this. And that's why it's time for us to start focusing on us and paying attention to us and start doing things for us that we love to do every day. What lights you up? What makes you happy? Go see a movie that comes out that you're like, oh my God, I got to see that movie. Go see the movie. Go shopping for yourself. Right? Take a day, whether it's with a friend that you enjoy to be with, or whether it's by yourself or with your kid. Do things that make you happy. Go to your favorite lunch place. Go to your, in wherever the environment that makes you happy. If you love shopping at the mall, if you love going to like Oasis type, just do things for you. Okay? And so getting back to, we attracted these type of people in our life because we don't see that part of us in us. And like I said, I know that may sound harsh, and it goes a lot deeper than just that. So that's where, if you're curious about what am I talking about, you need to book a 90-minute call with me so that you and I can get on the phone and I can go deeper into that for you so that you can clearly understand why, right? Because there comes a point in time in life where we look around and we're like, okay, I keep attracting the same type of people in the same situations, the same drama, the same trauma. What the heck? What is going on? Why? Why me, right? Well, it's pretty easy. Just book a 90-minute call with me, and I will explain it all to you. And I will have you see you, the people around you, and life through clear lenses. Guaranteed 90 minutes is all I need to do that. So let me see. All right, we are 30 minutes into the call, and I am going to unmute everybody and ask if anybody has any questions or comments or advice or what, anything. No?
I don't have any comments or questions, Denise.
You don't? Okay.
Nope.
Okay, perfect. Did you get clarity around these, relationships and why we attract them and things like that?
Yes, I did. And we've talked about this a couple of times before. So it's just reinforcing the message.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, that's because you're awesome and you are who you are.
Thank you.
and that you are practicing that self-love and making sure that you do these things for yourself every day. So it helps, right? And it's baby steps that you do it in order for you to build up the momentum.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah. And that's why I reiterate that over and over, because it's not just like go on a vacation, go on a cruise for a week, and that's showing yourself love, and then don't do it for like 8 months, and then go on like a big vacation. It has to be these little things that you do every single day. It could be having tea by yourself in silence in just your favorite book or whatever. It doesn't have to be something big. I know, and I keep reiterating that because I thought that. And so I didn't do anything for myself.
Right. We always think it's got to be costly, expensive, extravagant. No, I'm the first one up. I have my cup of tea with my turmeric and cinnamon, and I just curl up in a corner and I just read and meditate. Saturday mornings, I like to wake up like 2 hours before everyone, and I really get into my novels and just read. And yesterday we went to Wrightsville Beach for the whole day. We packed a Coleman, we had our beach mat,
Sweet.
And we were just at the beach the whole day, watching the waves. The girls were playing in the water, and I was able to read halfway through a book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My girls were running around with our little dog, and my husband was watching them, and I was watching them. We got some snacks, and we had a Coleman full of drinks and snacks, and so it was a good day, just relaxing before the cold gets there. I just wanted to have another fun week.
Yeah. So. That's actually one of my favorite things to do too, is go to the beach, sit under the umbrella, have my book, and just listen to the ocean, and I'll read for a little bit, and then I'll like knock out, go to sleep to the ocean waves. Like that's my absolute favorite. So relaxing.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for you. Good for you. Awesome. Okay. So that is the call, and you know how to get in touch with me. For you who are listening to the replay, I will put the 90-minute link in the description on YouTube so that you can book a call if you want some clarity around how and why you've attracted these type of relationships into your life. Okay? So until next time, I'll see you next Monday. Bye.
Thanks, Denise.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.